Hi everyone, today is July 2nd of 2021. I am under this video trying to address my situation once again, the injustice that I have been submitted for over 8 years. And in the meantime, once again, I'm reaching out to Joe Biden administration as well as the president himself, Joe Biden, as I have been sending all these videos to his Twitter, Instagram, you name it. And of course, they continue not to reply or do anything about it. However, here I am. I'm not going to stop it until justice be done. So today I decided to launch a lawsuit against USCIS, the Auckland Park field office. And there's a lot of reason, as you can be able to see, and I'm going to post it not only here in this video, but I'm going to post on Facebook, Instagram, and my website as well, a couple of evidence that you can see how much the agent Van Bruin has manipulated everything, how much he used his power to make people do things for him, and be able to fulfill his desire, or his wife's desire, Andrea, to get me convicted of something, right? Anyway, on March 29 of 2012, I have this hearing. It's a bond hearing, and the lawyer that was representing me at the time was John Friedman. So during the hearing, everything was told the magistrate that I was professional race car drive, for over 3 decades. I was living in the United States, have no criminal record, never have any problem with the law before, right? Pictures, videos, you name it, everything was shown to her. And of course, my mom was present. She offered her house, she offered her life, her passport, my stepfather's passport, for me to be able to at least either be released and be able to resolve this matter until trial was done, or even a house arrest. So you can say that the judge was somehow engaged of giving some kind of sort of a bail until the prosecutor, Berta Mitrani, yeah, you're right, the magician, she took from her bag of tricks a fake letter suggesting that USCIS has revoked my status, has denied my application I-485, which was pending for over 2 years illegally, and that my work authorization on the United States has been revoked. And since on previous case of this another Brazilian person that done something wrong, he used to be a police officer, which he was selling drugs on the side, so he fled to Brazil. And because Brazil has a policy no extradition, so the judge made the assumption that she should deny me my rights to bail, because Brazil has this policy of no extradition in case, if I flee and go to Brazil. So even though the law say the judge is not supposed to use presumptions, she has to go by what the evidence is, is in front of her. It is not a offense that was involving drugs, guns, violence, or anything howsoever. And my record as a professional race car drive spoke very well in court. But of course, they're all together. It's all part of one team. Judge, prosecutor, and FBI, they all get paid by the same government. So bail was denied. However, on Friday, March 30 of 2012, 8:52 a.m., Agent Van Bruin, it's right here in front of me, and I'm going to post, you'll probably be able to see now. Agent Van Bruin, which his email is roy.vanbrunt@ic.fbi.gov. He sent an email to Roe Rosalinda Fernandez and Fred Book at dhs.gov. Subject, Roger Scotton, update, FBI criminal case. And of course, you can see clear in this email that in order now to cover up that fake letter, which I'm posting here right now that you can see it, in order to cover up the misconduct of the prosecutor of the magician, the prosecutor magician took from head trick of bag that letter, they start calling the immigration, the USCIS office, and engage on them to go ahead and deny my application I-485, which was pending at the time. So the email was sent March 30, Friday, so a day after my hearing. And the email said this: Rosalinda and Fred, good morning. I just want to touch base to let your agency know that Roger Scott was indicted early this month and arrested by the FBI on March 15 of 2012. Yesterday, he had his detention hearing, and the judge determined that he was a flight risk in order that Mrs. Scott be held pending trial. Of course, see what he say? The judge determined that I was flight risk based on assumption and based on the fake letter. But let's continue here. In court, I have also attached a copy of the indictment in a case your agent want to include in your files. How thoughtful. I am also writing because I'm hope your agency could help clarify some for me. I was under the impression that Mr. Scott's petition for citizenship legal residence based on his marriage has been denied by USCIS. In court, Mrs. Scott, the immigration attorney, who was present during his adjusted hearing, testified that his application based on his marriage has not been ruled on it, and it is in fact still pending. Scott immigration attorneys also indicated Scotton has a work authorization valid until August 2012, which was a bit of surprise to us since our understanding from other parties, God knows who the party is, of investigate that Mrs. Scott early overstayed his visa or enter illegal in the country. So, and you see it. We very surprised that they still have not denied him. Now, it is possible for me to get a clarification as to whether the USCIS has made a final decision on his adjustment petition based on his marriage. Also, could your agency provide what his official status is of today? I apologize if some of the terminology is inaccurate. I know in immigration proceedings there are many terms or art, and I apologize if I have missed some items. He called petition as application. Thanks. Special Agent Roy Van Brunt, FBI Miami, cell phone 954-553-1832. So this is the agent engaged in immigration after the first fraud in court done by the prosecutor. They need to rush and find a way to deny my application. Now, I'm looking here at my notes, and then it is email reply by this Rosalie Fernandez, which I'm trying to get here so I can read to you guys. Now, the letter, as you can see, the first denial letter, which was presented in court, has no date, has no office signature, has no name. The address, which they suggest to send a copy of this letter to me, it is not my address. In fact, the address was investigated doesn't even exist, because Calling Avenue at the time didn't go that far, over 1,000. My name is spelled wrong. There is no receipt number, so there's no director. There's a lot of things missing on the letter. But anyway, so Rosalie sent a reply back to Agent Vermont, and this is the response. Unfortunately, Fred is now working a different field office and could complete the final decision. This case is currently assigned to another office. He will finalize the denial for the reason concerning his marriage today. I have the rec number. Rosalie Fernandez, Department of Homeland Security, USCIS, Oakland office. Got the address, and her number is 954-677-7111. Right? So after this email, which was directed to her and Fred Books as well, another USCIS office, Yazer Navarrete, to Roy Van Braun. And this was on March 30 of 2012 as well. Special Agent Van Braun, I am an immigration officer with DHS USCIS in Auckland Park, who is currently revising the denial notice concerning this subject. See, and the funny thing is this, my interview, right, with the USCIS and my attorney, my wife, was conducted on August 2011, right? So the only thing they got to say here, we're gonna deny, right? He asked them to deny, and they kind of figured out a way to say, oh yeah, you know, I'm reviewing here, we're gonna deny. So basically what kind of evidence they do have that I have not fulfilled all the requirements under the law? They have zero, right? All presumption, assumption, manipulation, illegally things done. So, but you can see every single communication between them is all getting together, one help with the other, right? Because it's the same government that paid the check of this person too. And what shocked me, you see by the last name, Rosalinda Fernandez. Don't be surprised, she's a Latino. I don't be surprised if she's a Mexican, right? The other one, you can see by the name Navarrete also. These people at one point, they are immigrants in the United States. Eventually later on, they become United States citizens. And now they conspiring with these people to harm others. Let's continue with the email. The application that the subject filed in order to adjust status, being a green card holder based on his marriage, has been pending. But I'm planning on deny it officially either today or tomorrow. So he's making plans. So he's not doing anything based on fact, right? Evidence. Because if something was wrong during our interview, either they should have go ahead and call us up for a second interview. Should I send someone to the house, run some kind? No investigation. Nothing was done whatsoever. It's just I'm planning to do. I'm gonna do it because I have the power to do it, and I'm gonna go ahead. You're gonna be my little friend from now on, so I'm gonna help you out. That's the way it is. But when I deny his application, his employment authorization is automatically canceled, and he's reversed to having no legal immigration status in the United States, as he has overstayed his visa for almost 19 and a half years. Wow. You know, it's so funny for them to say such a thing. When I came to the United States in 1989, I came with a tourist visa. And of course, after pursuing my career, I went to different attorneys, and each one had say something different. But every single one of them has told me, don't leave, stay, because if you leave, then you can't come back, right? Eventually, my O1 visa was approved. Well, if there's something wrong, why USCIS will approve me O1 visa? See, I went to lawyers, I pay all the fees, I provide all the documentation required, O1 visa was approved. Later on September 2009, changed from O1, my I-140 application, also petitioned by one of the NASCAR race team that I'm supposed to race for them that year, was approved. So now, out of the blue, I'm overstaying my visa, 19 years. I'm not gonna even count when we serve immigration with the I-485 in 2010. In September, work authorization also was granted. Also in January 2012, because all the delays caused by them, by the misconduct, by the illegal stuff they've been doing on my immigration status, so I petitioned I-131 to be able to travel. I'm a professional race car driver, I need to be able to travel. So was approved. So seems to be something funny here, because if there's something wrong on my end, so every single time I apply for something, they always seems to approve. Anyway, I am also writing to ask if I am able to use information from the seal indictment to straight out deny. For example, the fact that he has been living in Boca Raton and not in Margate as claimed on his application will make his ineligible at all to pursue the claim, as he and his spouse must be residing together. In addition, even though he has only been indicted for mail fraud and not convicted in this proceeding, we can deny him as a matter of discretion for having broken federal criminal law. Now, this is getting better. You see here that he tried to suggest in my application, my address shows as Margate, which was. At one point, I was there with my mom, living there. Has always been my address as my mother's address, and is still my mother's address until today. I live there. All my mail goes there because I travel all the time. Of course, I have my address in Boca Raton, which I live there with my wife. And there's a plan approved on that too. Bunch of statements from banks, billings, even life insurance policy, which I can go ahead and provide you guys, but I think I already posted on my website that shows that Alina was the beneficiary. So in case if I crash, die, she'll have $1 million. Anyway, another problem here, as you can see, United States Constitution and laws say that you are innocent until proven guilty. Well, how can this guy say he wanna use the indictment to deny my application I-45? In fact, he contradicts himself when he say here, right? In addition, even though he has only been indicted, right? Even though I only have been indicted of mail fraud and not convicted in this proceeding, we can deny him as a matter of discretion for having broke federal criminal laws. Hold on, you just say, right? I have not been convicted yet. But then at the end you say that I broke federal law. Can you prove at that time that I broke any federal law? I mean, you cannot even prove today that I broke federal law. They just did the Mickey Mouse stuff they always do to others, to get the conviction. But I have approved by law there is not such a thing as a mail fraud in this case. But that's the thing here, the contradiction of this guy, right? If your law say that I'm innocent to prove guilt, for you to try to use the indictment to deny my I-485 application at that time, you violated laws. Not only violated laws, you violated my constitutional rights in due process. So that's the reason why I'm launching a a lawsuit against USCIS. Now, let's continue here with the Mickey Mouse things here. If you like, I can send you a copy of the denial when it is done. Thanks, Yazer O. Navarrete, Immigration Service Office 2, Department of Homeland Security, USCIS, Oakland Parkview Office, phone number 954-677-7149, which, by the way, those numbers, I have a call in many occasions. I have left messages and messages. In fact, I have also missed Navarrete emails, which is Yaser, spells Y-A-S-S-E-R dash, Yaser is a Y-A-S-S-E-R navarrete@dhs.gov. And of course, roselinda.fernandez@dhs.gov. So I mail to them. I call them. You believe they have an answer? You think they're gonna answer? You better run, people, because I'm gonna shake this house and someone gonna fall down. So when he sent this email, of course, it is a response here by Ed Verber, which he forwarded that information back to the prosecutor magician. You have no idea, people, what this bunch of hyenas, when they get together, they'll do whatever it takes. And in trial, Fred Book came to testify, even though he's not in the case anymore. And I asked Fred Book on at least 3 occasions, have you provided the videotape of my interview with the USCIS to Ed Verber? And he said no. Transcript, it is right there for anybody to download out of my website. He said no. When I approached the bench and I showed him the documentation that he himself signed, giving the tape to Ed Verber, and this document was signed on 11/18/11. Fred Books, and the address shows he has a 14675 Southwest 120th Street, Miami, Florida. Now another line from this person is that I asked him, when did you be transferred to another field office? And he said, right after my interview. Then later on he changed, shorter after my interview. And he couldn't make the final decision. You know, it's just shock to me. Before I left, on the video, the interview video, you can see him say clear to me, to my wife, and my attorney that was in the room. And he say, you know, I don't like to hold up people's life, and the next 2-3 days I'll make my decision, and you should know, right? But of course, at the point, Ed Verber's fingers was all over the place because there's so much evidence that shows that on that day of my interview in August 2011, he was sitting in the next room listening to the evidence, and which shocked me, and now I understand why this USCIS person only asked me questions about my business. I mean, if I'm there to be interviewed about the reality of my marriage with my wife, you know, why didn't he ask me personal questions, right? What is the color of underwear, or, you know, toothbrush, you know, the carpet, the house, anything at all. You know, we show a bunch of albums and pictures and all kind of, no, he keep asking questions. In fact, when this guy's Navarrete denied my application, he tried to make the assumption by looking the video, saying that when Fred Books asked me what kind of car my wife drives, and I say Honda Accord, and he said that I made a mistake of giving him the year of the car. Well, if you watch the video closer, and soon I'm gonna post this video also on a website, he asked the make model of the car, which I provide to him. I provide him with further information by give the year of the car. I hesitated a little second because I was thinking like, oh, I think it's 97, no, it's 1996. And that's exactly what it is in the video. In fact, my appeal lawyer for my immigration case, he put it in this in front of them. You know, he made a mistake. You know, in fact, when you ask the same question to Roger's wife, because they separate us, and asked the same question to my wife said the same thing. Yeah, it's 1996. You know, it's a Honda Accord. Another thing, he tried to assume that the marriage was not real. They asked my wife, what is the name of my company? Which my wife said, Sky Air. But because she didn't say Sky online, oh no, she don't know. So the marriage must be fake. Can you guys believe in that? And that's the base of denying my application. You see all this contradiction. You see this guy, Fred Book, which he's a big liar, and transcript shows all his contradictions. In fact, when I asked him again if he have give Van Braun the tape, because I present him this documentation that he signed when he gave to him and he signed when he received back. And he said, well, I can't remember, I must have give to him, right? But then I asked him, and which field office do you work for? And he said, Kendall. And Kendall? Well, then why at the day 11/18/2011 you're sitting in Miami field office, right? He couldn't answer the question. He started like, screaming in court and get upset with me and that my question was relevant and all. Like, answer the question. Because the fake letter that the prosecutor presented during my bond hearing has the Miami address. And now Fred Books in court tried to suggest that that fake letter from the prosecutor magician was just what they call a template, right? It's just a draft. That's what he said, if I recall, right? He said it was a draft. A draft, you draft a denial letter, but you didn't deny the case. This guy in 2012, Navarrete is the one that write the letter and have some guy, another field office director signed, Brett H. Lazen. He's the one that signed the letter. So, and you see all these lies and manipulation and getting thrown inside the court. Of course, the judge playing the same team. She's done her part also, and everybody already know. But that's the thing. You say you moved to a field office in Kendall, but you handle the tape to A.J. Van Braun. However, there's another violation right here. The custody of this tape. You no longer work in the Auckland Park's office field. What kind of authorization you have from that office field to take a government property from that Auckland Park field office to hand it to FBI? Now, another question is that what is the warning by the court requesting that tape? So see, they did as they please. They didn't follow protocols. They didn't follow the rules and laws. They did it, right? And this come from my agent that say they investigated me since 2008, arrested me in 2012, right? Well, then you have a 4 years investigation. What is all the evidence? Because when you investigate someone that's doing a crime, you got a plenty of evidence in 4 years, right? Because it's a continued crime, right? So what is all the evidence? What is all the way bills? What is all the commercial invoice, tax and duties, invoices? What is all this stuff? Because FedEx doesn't have it. They say they never had it. The prosecutor doesn't have, the judge doesn't have. What you guys have is a spreadsheet, right? But now everybody seems to kind of keep it running away. Avoid to answer. Got a habeas corpus pending still today in court since December 11 of 2017. But there's a scenario with immigration. So I'm not going to go back and tell you guys about how illegal was the way they removed me from the country. Even though my mom applied for me, which my mom is a United States citizen, and immigration approved my I-130 on July 29 of 2019. And everything that the law allowed me to apply, I didn't have a due process, right? I didn't have my chance to go in front of an immigration judge and plead my case. In fact, every single time I try to file a petition to 11 Circ for judicial review of the final order denial, the prosecutor keeping cancel the removal. Oh, Your Honor, we cancel his removal, so just dismiss his application as moot. And the third time when I tried to submit another review to the court, I was handcuffed and shackled like an animal ping pong from one state to another until I was dumping here in Brazil with the clothes in my back. So, and that's the story, you know. That's why I decided to launch a lawsuit. So it is time to bring all these people to court. They need to have they turn to sit at the bench over there and testify and give them the versions, present the evidence, you know, because I want the facts. I want the facts because I study law. I become a paralegal, you know, sitting in D. Ray James, and I understand what's going on today. And then I want the law. I want everybody to follow what I understand today, which was never followed. So, Agent Vroom Vroom, I call you too. You didn't answer the phone. You know, it's so funny that seems to be that everybody doesn't want to talk about this no more. Everybody want to run away. Everybody want to blind eye on the situation. Even the judge, you know, sitting on my habeas corpus, you know, because what she's doing, she's just delaying. Because eventually she's going to come back with some kind of excuse and deny the application anyway, right? Which I'm going to go ahead and pursue that on on a court of appeal. And it is another proceedings that I'm going to go ahead and keep following till truth come out, you know. And I wish like all this information get in the hands of one of those big investigating reporter, you know, they can blow this thing on the news out of proportion, because that's the only way someone in this country can get justice, is when your case get a blow out of proportion, you know, on the news, on the social, you know, Twitters and Facebook, and everybody start running for cover, you know, and things get done. Anyway, so now you see it. Another scenario that I want to talk to here quick to everybody is the fact that, you know, we are continue getting information and interviewing other parties that was involved. In fact, I have one of my witness that she's confessed. She confessed not long ago that after she came to testify on my behalf, the FBI engaged and tried to also throw her under the bus. So I want you guys to go ahead and listen, you know, what she got to say about that.
Indo por aquilo tudo, eu vi como as pessoas, elas quando chegam na hora de ajudar o outro, elas simplesmente se escondem. É triste a gente ver isso. Eu não tenho essa personalidade, eu não me escondo. Se eu achar no meu coração de ajudar alguém, eu não tenho medo, né? Quero nem saber o que foi que aconteceu. Muita coisa aconteceu naquela época. Eu tive o Marshall indo na minha casa, me intimando. Mas eu falei assim, eu não tenho nada, não devo nada para ninguém. Eu não vou ceder ao que ninguém quer que eu faça ou fale, porque eu não vou fazer. Mas assim, o mais importante para mim é saber que hoje você está pelo menos em liberdade, porque a liberdade para a gente não tem preço, Roger. É uma coisa que eu treasure muito, é a nossa liberdade. É duro pra gente, né? Principalmente quando a gente se sente com as mãos atadas, que a gente não consegue fazer nada, que no caso eu lembro lá no dia que eu fui ser witness, a prosecutor tentando me direcionar o que eu tinha que falar, ficou com raiva porque eu não falei o que ela queria, e ela querendo botar a palavra na minha boca, querendo que eu dissesse o que ela queria ouvir. Guess what? Not gonna happen. Mas muita gente fica com medo, porque veja bem, as pessoas ficam com medo, mas eles vão, né, fazer isso e aquilo comigo, e eu quando chego nessa hora eu sou meio maluca, né? Call me crazy, but não faria de novo, tá? Não me arrependi. Sim, fui procurada depois, mas eu não bendo assim. Eu falei, não devo nada, então vindo atrás da pessoa errada. Agora é muito triste eu saber, realmente a gente não teve a oportunidade de conversar depois, né, que isso tudo ter acontecido dessa forma. Mesmo, se fosse você faria a mesma coisa, não faria nada diferente, que é certo, né? Se não é certo, não é certo. Não tem esse negócio, é certo para um e não é para o outro. Que cacete é isso, né? E você pode ter certeza, não, sua mãe, eu realmente fiquei de coração partido, porque na realidade, ela é mãe, eu também sou mãe. Eu faria de tudo para ajudar meus filhos. E é o que ela estava tentando fazer, do jeito dela, sendo isso ou aquilo, né? Eu fui procurada assim, houve certas. Mas eu, para falar a verdade, em hora nenhuma eu abaixei a minha. Realmente. Foi um momento difícil. Eles queriam que eu falasse o que eles queriam
And you
ouvir, mas
see,
guess what? Not happening.
and this girl was not the only one that has been intimidated by this agent Van Brun. Junior Silva, friend of mine, is the same situation. In fact, you know, in trial, I supposed to have a 40 witness come to testify, which after 4 weeks, Rosenbell called me in by myself in court and dismissed 29 of my witnesses, all already subpoenaed, but all already denied. But there was the reason, right? The reason is because I already embarrassed the government, I already got so much of the witness taking a stand and lie, contradict themselves, that include Adrian Van Brun himself, Fred Books, all this you can read on my transcripts, which I post on my website, right? So they already lied, the case is already weak. Now imagine, right, Rosenbell was thinking like, imagine if this guy brings 40 people to testify on his behalf. So we already hear 4 weeks to trial, another 40 witnesses, man, it's gonna be a month, more than a month before we went to this trial, and this guy's probably gonna win. So they have to stop. And of course, at that point, also when she denied my witness, Adrian Van Brun also subpoenaed Junior. Of course, when Junior came to court to testify on that day, Adrian Van Brun ran from inside the courtroom, prevented Junior from even getting through security, the checkpoint in court. You know, told him, get out. If I need you, I'll let you know. Junior shows concern on that because was his belief that the agent was up to something. The agent was up to do something also to him. He went home. He lost a day of work, but they don't care. They don't care about you, your life, your job, or anything at all. It's all about them. They use you. They do whatever it takes to fulfill their agenda, right? Because everyone over there has a part on this. The prosecutor, it is there not for justice. The prosecutor is there to get a conviction. I want every single of you guys that understand. I have not seen one single case that I researched that you can see a prosecutor run some kind of investigation or by law she sees something that demands the case to be dismissed, throw away the case. And she came in front of the judge, well, we agree, this case needs to be thrown away. The only way they do this is when they catch them with the pens in the hand. That's the only way they do this. Otherwise, it's all conviction. It's all conviction. And they're all together on this. Judge, prosecutor, everybody's together in this. Because they're getting paid by the same agency, the same government, there's the same check. It goes to everyone. So that's what they do. They're intimidating people. You know? And here am I now about to launch another lawsuit against a government agency for misconduct, for fraud, right? Because if you make me sign a contract, right, requiring me to pay money on that application, that contract, so the application become a contract because I pay for the service that you offer me, right? I fulfill all the desires, I fulfill all the laws, and in the meantime, I've been scammed out of this contract because you see the way they deny my I-485 application was unlawful, was illegal, was not by the law, was not by the evidence, was by please Adrian Van Brun and his wife. You know, what else to say, right? And I know from the fact that I could win this trial if I want to. Maybe if I have at the time the knowledge that I have, because during my time, my 8 years that I done, I studied law. I become a paralegal. you know, and now I understand. Maybe if I have all this understand, maybe it was a small little percent of chance that I couldn't win this trial and prove my innocence. But even though know what I know and I see what they're capable to do, can't win a trial. You can't win a trial in the United States. That's why every single lawyer, when they sit with the client, the first thing come up out of their mouth. In federal courts, the rates of a conviction, it is 99%. And I wonder why. I see it all. I see it all. Is a cases and case that I can spend here hours telling you guys that I review, that I help other inmates, you know, of so much prosecutor misconduct to get a conviction. They go beyond what established law required them to do it. And they abuse the power. As you can see here clearly, USCIS. Done to me. You know, Fred Books, lie on the stand, telling the judge and the jury that the fake letter that Mitrani magician has taken a bag of tricks, wave in court and say deny his bail, Your Honor. He say it's a draft that he did it. But he's been transferred to another field office. You have no part of that case no more. The case was assigned to another office. Why are you doing, or why you didn't deny them on 2011 my application before you left their office? You never have any evidence. You never have a reason to deny until this age and his wife came along with the desire to screw my life. And that's the reason, you know. So I'm launching a lawsuit, and yesterday I resubmit another motion. There's a motion to reopen a case with the appellate court, which I submit this motion in April. So appellate court now, yesterday I called the appellate court, the clerk of court said they didn't receive. Even though it was a certified letter, they say they have not received that letter. So I have another person who went over there personal to go to the clerk's office, hand it to him and get a stamp back and say, you've been served. Because now there's the kind of another new thing they've been doing. Every paper that I file in court, you know, seems to disappear and does go to the dock, you know. So that's the reason why, you know, I have engaged and asked all my followers, friends, and any other person that care about justice to go to my GoFundMe page and help me raise money, because I need to raise this money, get a team of a lawyer, because they already show they have no respect. You know, until I have a strong licensed lawyer, you know, in this case, you know, I might get a result. Until then, you know, I keep spinning my wheels here because they don't care. You know, they really don't care. So appreciate everybody that goes to that page. If you can't afford, so help us out, raise this money. I'm trying to get a bunch of law involved in this case here, so I can go ahead and do us right. You know, so appreciate it for your time, and until next time.